The dreaded reverse S-curve. Do you know what it takes? There is so much anxiety and myth around this feature of an ideal cavity preparation. Isn't it funny that almost nobody even thinks about it when doing an actual cavity prep on an actual patient? Do you ever wonder why it's important in ideal preps? Or is it as important as you think it is as a standalone feature? If you want to dig in and get to the bottom of everything reverse S-curve, you're in the right place. I'm Dr. Alyssa Marshall from International Dentist Central and creator of Bench Test Mastery. I've been working with dentists from all around the world for the past several years to help them pass their bench test so that they can realize their dreams of being a practicing dentist in the United States. And I've had this reverse S-curve conversation easily several hundred times by now. It's often the feature that applicants are focused on the most when doing cavity preparations, even though it shouldn't be. Yes, I know, it makes a prep look beautiful, and yes, I know, many schools have it listed as a criteria that they're looking for. I am not saying it is not important. I'm just saying that if you're focusing on creating a reverse S-curve for the sake of creating a reverse S-curve, you're doing it wrong. Concepts are important. Fundamentals are important. Even if your test is coming up very soon, having a very strong grasp of them is extremely important because when an applicant does not have that, it shows through their work. Evaluators can often tell what the applicant was focused on when preparing the tooth by just looking at it. And often it is not the things it should have been. When I see a prep that looks like it has a reverse S-curve that was rather forcefully created with the supporting elements not in its place, it tells me that the candidate's level of understanding of the concepts related to it is just not there. Trust me, you do not want this to happen to you during your bench test. So let me explain. Before we get into it though, I want you to know that there are many concepts like this, things that candidates focused on often that do not align with what might be even more important. So for every feature of a cavity or crown preparation, try to get to the bottom of the why. That way, you'll always be focusing on things that are more important. Now, to help you understand this whole reverse S-curve thing fully, which is honestly the only way that you can make sure that you're doing that part of the work properly, I'm going to explain everything in great detail on paper. Hopefully that rocked your world. Now you get what a reverse S-curve truly is, that it is not just a shape we give when doing a cavity preparation because we want to give it. We also talked about what to focus on instead of just focusing on the S shape itself, which is creating a 90-degree exit angle with a wall that is straight for the entire enamel portion of the tooth and curving around the cusp to preserve it to the best we can, and how those two things combined create a reverse S-curve on its own. I also talked about common mistakes that happen if you try to create a reverse S-curve without the understanding of what it truly is first. I also walked you through the situations in which you cannot get a good reverse S-curve and how it is not your fault, so please don't worry about it. The graders will know if they see that preparation. I hope this deepened your knowledge and understanding in ideal cavity preparations. As I mentioned earlier, it is important that you get the fundamental reasons of why we give certain features of preparations the way we do. Without that, it's easy to make mistakes that could be costly. If you want to work with me to learn about other features of crowns and cavities that applicants will often focus on at the expense of something more important, so that you make sure you give each feature properly without a mistake that renders your preparation clinically unacceptable, which is the worst thing that can happen during a bench test, we are currently running a special. If you have a bench test and interview coming up, or if you expect to take the bench test in the future, even if it is not this year, this bundle is a fantastic fantastic value that is only available for the next few days. After it's over, you can still work with us, just not through this value-packed bundle. You can learn more about the bundle by clicking the link below. And if you have any questions about the bundle or each of our courses at all, just give us a call and we will be happy to chat.